Hello everyone, my name is Prabhat Singh and I am founder of Gurukul Bharat. I have been working as an entrepreneur and researcher for last 2 decades after graduating from IIT Kharagpur in 2007. My interest has been in AI, linguistics, and especially languages. I published a lot of research in AI, control systems, uh, long before AI became cool. And I I have been wondering, like I think many of you, that what is the origin of universe? What makes it so interesting? There are so many things happening. Everything seems so accurate, right? Happiness, sadness, all the cycles, right? Everything is uh, very mysterious, and there are a lot of texts about it in terms of philosophical approach to universe, to life, and the deeper questions and all that, right? But I will focus today on one important aspect which I found uh, quite interesting, and I've been very successful in finding very deep answers, and I want to share that with you in form of 5 lectures, right? And this pertains to string theory, right, on quantum mechanics, many areas which kind of are trying to explain the deeper meaning of how the universe was created. But the current modern science is basically stuck at 2 areas. One is you have a standard model, which kind of explains every particle and the phenomena, but it lacks the explanation of gravity. The gravitons cannot be explained using the standard model, right? But then comes the string theory, and string theory explains gravity very well, and it is like based on, not based on gravity, but gravity is available in all forms of string theory definitions which have come in last 4 5 decades. And then the problem is to arrive at the standard particle from string theory is a huge challenge. If you know, string theory predicts, or not predicts, but the dimension or domain of string theory is so large that just finding out those 26, 28 or so particles seems impossible, because there could be 10 to power 500 types of strings or excitation modes of strings, which are the building blocks of all the particles, quarks, leptons, fermions, and bosons, basically. And I have been a student of this for a good many years. And recently, I found that Maheshwar Sutra has this definition that it was played by Shiva's Damaru, right? And the 14 sounds which came out is said to be the beginning of the universe. But that, I'll explain every bit of it, and it is all, it will fit well, right? I have been a critic and a rational thinker, and I'm still am, right? And I'm telling you based on some theory. So if you have seen my Twitter, or if you have seen my blogs, you know that we have been able to freeze water with sound waves, right? And that is a proof that the strings which we have posited are actually the strings which makes this universe. Otherwise, freezing water would not be possible. It has been submitted for peer-reviewed publication, and I'm sure people will be very critical of it, and that's okay. That's good actually. So the 14 syllables which actually make up the strings of this universe, and how the fermions and bosons came into existence, everything I'm going to explain in this series of 5 lectures, and that will kind of give you a good idea how to think of strings from now on and how to create new applications. So I mean, we are very excited and we are very ambitious about it. I believe we can make space teleportation. I'm not talking about time teleportation, but space teleportation is a real possibility with strings of this nature, right? Freezing the water using sound waves, sound excitations proves that we know the path and the passage. Now, all this has been possible because of, I think, one serendipity which has happened is blessing of my Gurudev, uh, Swami Nikhileshwaranand, who actually uh, I met him when I was, I think, at the age of 15 or so, and I did not know that what is life going to be after this, but it has been all good, right? Initially, my studies improved. I was not a scorer or ranker in my class. Before that, I was like the last five students of the class, and then after initialization, the initiation, I became the first two ranker, first three of the whole class, and that never stopped all through. Went to IIT, studied um energy engineering, electrical engineering, and many other forms, chaos theory, AI, published research on many areas. I've seen a lot of industrial domains across the globe, um, all across all the continents, and left my career to kind of pursue my calling of building technologies and all that. So Gurudev gave uh, the definition, or he gave Guru Mantra, and you have to chant it every day. That's the dharma, the way of life which one has to follow after initiation. And then when and the Guru Mantra has this um, phrase Param Tattva. So it's always like you are reciting that, bow to that Param Tattva, or my my obeisance to the Param Tattva, my respects, my gratitude. And I think I never asked what is Param Tattva. But then now I understood. And it always looked like, I mean, when you call Param Tattva, you know that you study elements and atoms and you're breaking it down. So it looked like, okay, this is the prime element, supreme element of this nature, of this universe, right? You just created. But what it does it look like? That I got to know now. Right. So let's get started. So I will start with something which actually is going to help us understand, right, what are we going to do. So let me show you what this is, right? So this what you see is the organization of Param Tattva and how the four Vedas might have come out of it, right? So let's start with something which is like very very basics, right? To understand this well, all of you know what this is, right? This is called Maheshwar Sutra. Maheshwar Sutra. This is these are um, 14 group of words or letters which is said to be which has come out of Shiva's Damaru, right? Seven on the left side and the last seven on the right side. These are in Hindi, but you can go to the site gurukul.bharat and see the English version or the Latin version of this, so that all those of you don't understand Sanskrit or Devanagari scripting can also understand what this is. So these are like the 14 sounds which is said to be the building block of this universe. And I always wondered There are a lot of research about it, a lot of published research in last many years in modern science, especially on linguistic, grammar, computer science, and all that. That this is the most um, perfect in language in terms of grammar, right? Everything is defined, everything is definite. There is no room for ambiguity or doubts or anything, right? And grammatically it is 100 on BNF score, which is a way of measuring the definition of things using the grammar, right? And these 14 sutras actually create or build that grammar. Now when we so what did I did I published a research. If you guys go through the link which is shared in the description of this video on YouTube, which is I published it. It got published last month. So basically the ending letter, if you see in all these 14 sutra, has a ending marker. It's called halant, right? And it is like half sound, vowel-less sound, right? So if it is ka, you call it ka. So ka has almost every letter has a sound, right? But that halant means that you don't spell the vowel, just spell the, like how English alphabet is taught in Western schools. You just spell the sound m, not m, right? So for M, similarly, these are all sounds. And there have been a lot of research published about what is the meaning of this and why there are these things in the universe, or the definition of Maheshwar Sutra. And a lot of people have kind of weighed on it and said, oh, this is just like the musical note. I mean, there has been no formal definition of why and how these things create the universe. I mean, of course, these have all the letters jumbled up. When you see alphabet table of Sanskrit, you will see that these are like organized based on the origin, or the origin of sound from our mouth, right? So starting from ka, ga, that starts from your lower neck, right? So, or what we call kant, right? So that, and it goes up, right? So then that's how it is organized. But here these are not organized in that way. These are like organized very differently, and then there is a ending marker. So I have been like thinking about it. 10 years ago I built a kind of a circular coordinate, right, or you call angular coordinate system. I just plotted this and it looked like Shivalinga, which is kind of means notation of Shiva, right? Linga means notation, right? So that's how I've been looking at it, and it suddenly appeared that what if all the ending markers here, right, have something called a connection. What if we connect all the ending markers to wherever they appear other places, right? And that's how we got this. Which is actually a graph notation of Maheshwar Sutra. So in this one, wherever the t is ending, so it connects to the sutra where t is in between. Similarly, everything gets connected, right? And then you find two places where it circulates, right? One on the left side, which is Nyamadana. So that is the place here, right? If you see this one, this has a loop, right? And this has a loop. And I'm just saying that how did I discover it, right? I'm not saying that I did a lot, but just thinking a lot maybe. So these two sides actually are what are repeated loop. And when you study wave equations and wave representation of quantum waves, right? Anything which loops creates kind of, it's all energy, right? So it like energy reverberates, kind of multiplies. I mean, not multiplies, but it kind of becomes intense, right? The intensity increases, right? And if there is energy to feed it, it will only increase. So long story short, I found this, I published this, that this is the definition. This is possibly one of the meanings of Maheshwar Sutra, and this is, and they are interconnected, they are not disconnected. And one very important thing, so the last sutra in Maheshwar Sutra, the hull, and la, right? People kind of sorry, I opened the wrong one. People were not sure why her comes twice. You see, this thing her comes here at the end, right, in the 14th sutra, and also comes in the 5th, right here. And people, there are like research published like, oh, this may be a reason or also, right? But when you look at this, it becomes very clear that there is no other way to connect the left and right but hull. Hull connects the left and right. Now, let's not look at this. Okay. Yeah, so hull connects everything. Now, when we and that's the reason, that's definite reason why, if this representation is true, why 14th sutra, 14th sound was required, because that sound connects to two sides. Now, coming to the fermions and bosons, right? If fermions and bosons are two set of strings, one which creates all the field, force and everything, other which creates all the matter, particles and everything, then one side of it is fermions, one side of it is bosons, right? And we'll come to it, that which one fits more of fermions and which one fits more of bosons, right? So that's how what we get here is called Param Tattva, right? I call it Param Tattva, because this looks like the supreme element which builds this whole universe. And this is the string structure out of all that 10 to power 500, which comes from the Yao Kali B manifold, the possibilities of all the different excitation modes in which string can vibrate, the basic string can vibrate and create this universe. And that's why it is impossible to kind of arrive at the fundamental primordial strings, excitation modes, which makes up our universe, right? And I mean, 10 to power 500 is a very large number. If you don't know, the number is so huge that it can count the number of particles, not just in this universe, but maybe billions and trillions of other universes which are there out there. It's so large. Maybe that's the limit of number of universes out there. I mean, I don't know. I think it's very large, and that has come out of that. So yeah, it's a very large number. You cannot compute. You cannot even do quantum computing over that. It's so huge, right? So this is one way of testing. When something is so huge, you become heuristic. These 14 sounds make a lot of sense, and that's why I tested these 14 sounds. That are these the building blocks of the universe? Looks like yes. And when we tested, like how we arrived at this the definition of quarks and all, I'll come to it in a later chapter, maybe second or third, because I have to talk about what is the meaning of Damru here. So basically, to cut it short, Damrus have two sides. You have seen Damru, right? Damrus have two sides, and they actually uh, have excitation modes, right? So a Damru has two sides, which is something like this, right? And so there are some strings to make it tight so that it makes a good sound, right? And there is a beating bell, kind of a shell attached to a thread, and this creates a sound. This is called Damru, and this is what is um, there on two sides of this. You see, there are two sides, fermions and bosons, and that creates the perfect supersymmetry, right? That's what we call that fermions and bosons are not two different things. All the particles and forces are not two different things. They are same, right? Mass is energy, energy is mass, right? All this comes from this, and this is beautiful definition of a finite, right? Now, freezing the water with the help of this model helped us identify that why this is the right definition, right? So the doubts are not there. Scientifically, we have proven it that this this seems like the way how the universe is built, right? Now, how did we arrive at other forces and the excitation modes, and this actually will define everything, right? This defines the chemical states, how many states an electron can stay in. This has an answer to um, the matter, antimatter, energy, dark energy definitions too, right? So we'll come to those one by one, right? And also this defines in some way that there are areas in the universe where the laws of physics in this universe itself, in which the laws of physics are different, right? At the end of this, in the fifth chapter, we'll come to the applications of the excitation modes of strings. I'm not calling it theory anymore because theory is over. We now have a real string which we know has excitation states which resonates exactly with our world and has been proven in scientific experiments. And this actually can be applied in many areas. One area in which we are applying is space teleportation, right? So we can travel to Mars or to Moon or any other planet, any other place where we want using space teleportation, and we are building a device on that with help of my Guruji. All the mantras comes from him, right? And I just implement the tech. And there are many other possibilities. We can create mini universes and study them. That's also feasibility with this, and that's what we are doing, and that's what we are. Now, coming to one very important element, why this is so, right? We know that it is so. What it is, I don't know, right? That if why was it done so? But this looks like this is it, right? This is the answer to the universe theory of everything, or answer to everything. It's not a theory anymore, but yeah, theory of everything. So we prove that one by one. But freezing water has kind of many areas or angles. It proves that the chemical structure of an atom or a molecule, or the bonds between them, the nucleation phase will happens during the freezing of water. Everything is connected, right? And this is what this model is, that it is a theory of everything, or the equation of everything. Now, because the theory is over. Theory is something which is theoretical, right? This is very practical. So this is what it is. And why in in the world there are so many things which are done through mantra, right? So I'm not talking about all the Sanskrit literature which is there, right? So mantras work. I mean, there are so many places where you might have seen that in India or all over the world, you have sound energies which actually excite the whole of this energies and forces, right? So the concept in ancient Veda, there is a concept called Shabda Brahma. Means the universe was created with sound, or this universe is made up of sound, right? And sound is an kind of a form of energy, but which sound and what? So the Param Tattva model gives us that answer, right? And all the mantras actually are made out of this. So we'll kind of go into building the mantras, and building mantra is hard because then you have to know the universe top down, and that's what a guru does. Like my Guruji, he's a Siddha Guru, he's a Sadgurudev, right? So he knows the universe top down. He can give us the mantras, and we can build tech with it. Right? So this is the new era of building technology with mantra. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next 5 chapters. You have a good day. Har Har Mahadev.